Hello, this is Chelsea for VETT 222, task 18, which is prepare a culture and sensitivity. So I'm going to zoom in here on our supplies that we have. Here's our incubator, nice little homemade incubator here, made out of a styrofoam box, and we're going to set that in the sun. It should come up to an appropriate temperature. So we have a little tray down on the bottom for our sample to sit on, and that should work out just fine. We have our incubator. We also have our blood agar petri dish here. We have our patient sample. I'll bring that closer. Patient sample here, which is an aspirate from Roxy. She had a kind of a gross oozy lesion that we're going to culture. And then we have our patient label for that agar plate. So we have the patient name, number, client number here. We have the date and my initials here that I'm the one that started the culture. So we have that all here. And then we also have our, let me come in close here. We have our antibiotic discs for later on. And we have a sterile swab that we're going to use to collect our sample. We also have a pen that we used to label our agar plate. So I'm going to go ahead and begin the culture and sensitivity. So we're going to go ahead and open up our sterile swab, being careful not to touch that to anything. And then we're going to open our patient sample, like so. We're going to introduce the sterile swab into the patient sample. And then we're going to take that and recap it here. I'm going to open up our agar plate, and we're going to go ahead and begin inoculating the agar plate. So we go across to make our primary smear here, and then we're going to go across again. Cross one more time, and a little zigzag here. So we have our plate properly inoculated. I'm going to get rid of our swab here. I'm going to cover our plate, and then we're going to take our patient information off the sticker and place it onto the plate. So we have that there, properly labeled. And we're going to go ahead and stick that inside our incubator here. That down in the bottom on the little shelf that we have here, and we're going to place this in the sun for about 24 hours, and we're going to read the results as soon as that is finished incubating for 24 hours. So we will be back to revisit this and apply some of our antibiotic discs if we see growth, and go ahead and read the plate. So we will be back when this is finished incubating. Hello, this is Chelsea Marks back with VETT 222, task 18, which is a culture and sensitivity. We have our supplies here, which is our incubator, the homemade incubator, our patient plate here, clearly labeled, and we have some more supplies over here that I'm going to zoom in on, which is our antibiotic discs here. See if you can see those better. There they are. Little antibiotic discs, and then we have little thumb forceps to put those discs on the plate with. And then I have my iPhone here with some pictures of some bacteria. So I'm going to go ahead and take out our plate. So we're 24 hours later, and the growth on our plate is not real interesting, but we do have a little bit of growth there. So I'm going to go ahead and you can see here where it's been incubated there. And there's some little spots there and one out here. So I'm going to add one of those antibiotic discs to the plate. Okay. Get a couple of them here. Okay, so we added a couple of those antibiotic discs. I'm going to go ahead and close it up and re-incubate it and check on it when it is finished. So right now I'm going to talk about some of the bacteria that we could be seeing. So kind of looks a little bit like this, what we're seeing, not so much over here, but the little dots. And this would be if we got better growth. We just don't have that good of growth right now. And then potentially that's really good growth right there, but we are not seeing that either. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the few little antibiotic discs on there, see if that takes care of whatever bacteria that is, see if it's sensitive, and we will come back once that's finished and write it in our patient chart here. So we have our patient chart stating the date we started the culture and sensitivity, and then our recheck today, growth, I'm going to say probably positive. Okay, so recorded as positive, and that we are introducing the antibiotic disc to the sample. Okay, so we have that there, nicely charted for patient Roxy, and we will revisit this as soon as it is done incubating. This is Chelsea Marks, and we're back filming for VETT 222, task 18, which is a culture and sensitivity. So we have our patient chart here, and yesterday we went ahead and introduced the antibiotic discs to the sample, the growth on the sample. So today we're going to check for growth or inhibition of that growth 24 hours later. So we have our plate that's been sitting in our little makeshift incubator here. And yesterday we went ahead and showed you that there was growth. Let's take this open here, that there was growth. The little green dots here, show you. So here, here, and here. There's also a little spot down here that had some growth. So zooming in real close, we can see that the antibiotic disc, the Clavamox that I put here, is actually inhibiting the growth of that bacteria, whatever growth that is. Used to be completely round, and now the bacteria is being killed off by that Clavamox. Looks like it's working over here too, or starting to work over here. This little guy right there. So we'll see if that gets better over the next 24 hours, but this one's definitely working. You can see the half moon that it's kind of taken out of that bacterial growth. So this is definitely looking like it's sensitive to Clavamox, whatever growth this is. So we're going to go ahead and mark in the chart that preliminary results look like it is working. So mark here, growth inhibition with Clavamox disc. Okay, so we've recorded that in the chart here, growth inhibition with the Clavamox disc, and I'm going to let that go another 24 hours and just for my own curiosity see if that works even more on those little pieces of bacteria that we're growing. So that was VETT 222, task 18, and that is the finish of the culture and sensitivity.